Here now is Matt Austin and Ginger Gadsden with Florida's Fourth Estate. Sponsored by Light Orlando, delivering hope together.
Hey, welcome back to Florida's Fourth Estate, everyone. We here in Central Florida love the theme parks. It seems like we live in Candyland, right? We get our choices of all the big attractions. Matt, what if someone actually told you, you can go to school and you can learn to do everything at those theme parks. You can manage the theme parks. I'm like, you shut your mouth right now. There is no such major. There's no such job.
That's a very aggressive answer. You shut your mouth right now.
That's like telling somebody a dream and then taking it back. But it's not a dream. This is real.
Ginger, your intros are the absolute best. Yes, they are. So today we're talking about a brand new degree you can get from the University of Central Florida. And I'm going to read it, and I want to get it right. Theme Park and Attraction Management. Okay. As a father with daughters, who one of them is heading to college this year, you think of like degrees that would make you, the sound of them, like I'm going to go get a degree in dance or art or theme parks. You think
I want
like
to be an actor.
We should, yeah. It's like you kind of think maybe, honey, can we? But this one, there could be some real money, and there's a lot of jobs in the future. And so to talk about this, we have Carissa Baker. She is an associate professor, UCF. She's also helping to sort of massage this program into life here. And it's a whole fascinating ordeal, and certainly has a lot to do with Central Florida. Carissa, thank you so much for joining us on Florida's Fourth Estate.
Great to be here.
Oh, man, this is I'm excited because this has a lot to do with the industry that really is the lifeblood of our community in Central Florida. So can you start off by just telling us, why is this needed? What's the importance of this?
Yeah, so nice to be here. Excited to talk about this new degree. So as you probably know, one of the coolest things about Orlando is that it is the theme park capital of the world. And at UCF, we already had, a couple of ways that you could explore that. So for instance, we have a master's in theme design, to be a theme park designer. But we realized that there's a need to have at the undergraduate level a full-on major in managing theme parks. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but probably the best one is there's a lot of theme parks here. And a lot of the major operators around the world who we see as kind of the top global operators, we have nearly all those operators here in Orlando already. So there was tons and tons of interest from students. And so we're just happy that we were able to get a whole major ready for them starting this fall.
Okay, yeah. So you start this fall. Tell me, how are you picking and choosing the subjects, and what are they learning while they're in these courses?
That's a really great subject in itself, because this program has been under development for 2 years now. And we chose the approach where we said we really wanted to know, first of all, from the industry. So we sought input from our industry partners, anyone from Disney and Universal and SeaWorld to Kennedy Space Center and some of the small local operators that you might think of as well. And we said, what do you need our students to know when they become leaders in the industry? So kind of what are those gaps? We did already have some classes in theme parks, but we said, what else do we need to really kind of satisfy what you need in a very innovative, dynamic industry? And then we also polled our students. So what is it like in our program now, and what kinds of things you think could be added for the future? And then we're very lucky that Rosen College has had kind of theme park curriculum. We had a certificate, we had coursework for a long time. So we have a lot of alumni who are also already in the industry. So we also talked to them and said, hey, what kind of stuff do we need? And we came up in the end with 3 pillars, which are management, creativity, and technology. And the idea is that you're going to understand kind of how complex the industry is. So the business end of theme parks is important, but so is the cool creative process. And so is the kind of sciencey engineering part of the industry. So they will learn all of those things when they take this program.
Very cool. I want to get down to brass tacks here quick, as one of my old news directors used to say. Matt, let's get down to brass tacks. So when you think of theme park jobs, many of those jobs people get, maybe they're in high school, maybe they're in college. These are not the jobs we're talking about right now. These sort of what used to be considered low wage jobs. Now Disney and Universal are kind of upping those up to $17 an hour, maybe $20 an hour jobs. What kind of jobs are we talking about, and what kind of money can these kids make when they get out of school?
Our kind of ideal student would be someone who wants to go to those upper echelons of management. So maybe they want to manage an attraction, they want to manage an area of a park, they want to manage a line of business within a park. So anything from attractions or the rides, food and beverage, merchandise. There's a lot of different kind of in-park jobs. But then we also have a lot of alumni who do kind of back of house positions. So we have people do project management and strategy and development, revenue management. So all of these are going to be the types of jobs this is going to help prepare you for. And you can definitely make up to the six figures within these top management positions, although a lot of the starting wages tend to be more towards the 60, 70, 80 range.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a big demand for all of these workers. We always tout the numbers as to how many people come here to visit our beautiful theme parks. But being tasked to educate those people, like I think they said something like Universal will need like 14,000 workers in the coming years, and you guys will probably play a big role in that because they probably will get internships at those places and get hands-on experience. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. So Disney and Universal are already our number 1 and 2 employers for our internships. So a lot of students already do their internships at theme parks, although we do have a lot of also national opportunities. So we have students who go out of state, and then even some students who do international. I think that's kind of one of the most important aspects when thinking about why is a degree necessary. This has really become a global industry. So really kind of exciting stuff going on all around. But in case anyone hasn't looked at a map, UCF Rosen College of Hospitality Management is across the street from Universal's Epic Universe. So that is very convenient for us.
Wow. It's almost like the kids could just walk across the street. And that's very important. I feel like at college these days, so many kids go and they get a degree that's like a pie in the sky. Maybe they won't ever use it, and they still pay all this money and get into all this debt. So are we expecting a pretty good ratio of kids who finish this major and then go across the street and work at a Universal or a Disney or someplace like that?
Yeah, and I'm proud to say that UCF Rosen College of Hospitality Management already has a phenomenal job placement rate. So we're always hovering between 97 and 99%,
Wow.
which is phenomenal. Absolutely one of the best. There's a reason we're in the very best of this type of college, hospitality and tourism college in the nation. But we absolutely expect that those opportunities will be there. And if you think about, let's just say a park like Epic Universe, they want 14,000 employees, but hundreds of those employees will be in the management level. And this is kind of the way it is at lots of the theme parks that are, as we continue to expand, you see that Universal is already developing parks in Texas, for instance. This is going to only continue to expand. And again, those international opportunities, I think, are kind of really, really exciting to see as well.
It seems like these skills would translate into the real world in almost any job, right?
100%. So we all know that we might maybe change our path as we go through college. I must say that I started by working in the theme park industry, but I didn't necessarily know I was going to become a theme park professor. So you never know where
Who
you're
would
going
have
to
guessed
end up.
that one?
I certainly did not guess that, but I will say that the cool thing is that the things you're going to learn in this degree, you're going to learn hospitality management, which I think is very transferable everywhere. You're going to learn about business, how business operates, but you're also going to get the creative aspect and how do you design a space? How do you design experiences for guests? And then you're going to look at that technology and innovation piece. And all of those, I think, are very transferable to other areas as well, even if they do decide after that they don't want to be in theme parks. But I should say our students, the ones we have right now, I'm the advisor for a student organization called the Future Theme Park Leaders Association. And if our incoming students are anything like them, these students are passionate about the theme park industry.
What would be the number one job? Getting out, highest paying. Tell us about that job, like the pie in the sky, very best opportunity for somebody who graduates from this program. What would you say it is? Well,
right.
Not immediately going to be CEO, but something fairly realistic.
Right. So I would say that the average job that our students are going to get is probably going to be that operations manager. But we have had, for instance, an alumni from Rosen College who became the vice president of one of the Disney theme parks. And so I think that is a viable
Oh,
career
wow.
choice. If you work your way up and you have both the education and the experience, I can really see that happening for several of our students.
I mean, is there a better
Love
way
it.
to sum it up? Carissa Baker, thank you so much. Best of luck with the brand new, let me get it right, Theme Park and Attraction Management School at UCF. If you want to check it out, you can find a bunch of stuff of it
Love it.
online.
Love it.
So thank you so much, Carissa. We appreciate you.
From getting a degree in theme park management to looking at what's next in the industry. Stay with us as we talk to the man in charge of coordinating some of the biggest players in the theme park industry, what he has to say about safety and the rides of the future. Welcome back to Florida's Fourth Estate. Earlier in the show, we talked about the Florida University now offering a theme park degree. Now we are checking out what's new in the theme park industry.
There is a company that keeps very close track of it. It is called IAPA, and their CEO is named Jakob Wall from Germany. Just got to Florida 12 months ago. He's already getting bitten by mosquitoes and attacked by snakes and hurricanes and everything else. So welcome to Florida. First off, we're
You're
glad to have you
Floridian
here.
now.
Yes. Now that you've been introduced to Florida, you get to be on Florida's Fourth Estate. Jakob, first off, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Matt and Ginger. It's great to be with you.
Oh, it is totally our pleasure. So let's talk about everybody. We have a lot of theme park junkies in our neck of the woods. What does IAPA do? What is the main goal for you guys, the company that you are the CEO of?
IAPA is actually the global association for the attractions industry. So we represent approximately 7,000 members worldwide. That includes amusement parks, water parks, zoos, museums, FECs, you name it. They are part of our organization, but we also represent suppliers to the industry. So whoever builds anything which you see and which you can experience in the theme parks, they're affiliated with us, and we actually support them and bring them together to promote the industry, but also to learn from each other and to try to create a framework where amusement parks can actually operate in the best way.
Yeah, we love that this convention comes to town every year, and for obvious reasons too. And we get to see sneak peeks of things that are heading our way. What would you say is probably, in the time that you've been doing it, your favorite thing to experience at something like this? Because the convention center is huge and you guys fill it.
Well, it's like, a kid in the candy store. When we have the expo here, it's 35, 40,000 people. You have inflatables, you have arcade games, you have even a small roller coaster being built up to just really show our attendees what is new in the industry, what are the trends and all of that. Besides, we have a huge conference program at those expos where you really can learn from each other in the aspects of operations, marketing, safety, all those things. And it's literally, it's like a class reunion. You have park operators from all across the world. They see what Orlando has in store in terms of attractions and to exchange with each other, what works, what doesn't work. And that is really, really fun. And it's a wonderful industry to work with because they all share their results and their experiences with each other.
The industry is getting pretty interesting these days. Used to be you sat in a big chair, they closed this giant thing down on you, and then you go around on a roller coaster. Now we're seeing some different stuff. Okay, over at Universal, where the Austin family tends to go, you can sit on a motorcycle or in a sidecar and go through a crazy ride. The new ride at SeaWorld, you're actually sort of quasi standing up. It's acting like you're surfing on the coaster. Is this the trend to sort of get people out of the seat?
Well, we sometimes say, delivering the same services to the same people is stagnation. And I think our industry is huge about innovation. You just mentioned Pipeline, the new surf coaster at SeaWorld. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was announced last year at our expo here in Orlando. I did it. It was fantastic. So it is literally where you can see how things come together. And yes, I think what you say is right. You also see Tron, you experience different ways of sitting on a coaster. They're highly immersive. It's not just a coaster anymore, but it tells a storyline. And this is what we see in a lot of variety. You see technology adding to the experience.
And with all this innovation, we got to talk about ride safety. I have a couple of questions about ride safety because in Orlando, we've certainly seen what can happen when things go awry. We had a terrible incident down on I-Drive where a 14-year-old kid fell out of a drop ride and died. And it has just been horrific to watch all of that. So can you tell us where IAPA stands when it comes to ride safety on these rides and making sure that even though we're pushing the limits and even though we're trying new things, that people, when they put their kids on these rides, they'll still be safe?
First of all, obviously what happened was a tragic accident, and we are very sorry that this happened. But I can guarantee you that safety is the number one priority for our industry. So we as an association bring together the leading operators and engineers from all across the world to try to elevate safety, to really think about what can we do more. And for whatever reason, it is literally that we try to get together to learn from each other, to see what worked and also what didn't work, that nothing will happen ever again of the same kind.
We're also seeing ride safety in some ways get a little bit political. We've seen recently there's been a spat between Governor DeSantis and Disney in which he has wanted to take over the ride safety and kind of put it more in the state's hands. Disney's sort of been in charge of that for itself for a long time, and it has been safe. Does IAPA have a preference on that? A state overseeing these inspections or the companies themselves?
I prefer not to comment on that individual case between Disney and DeSantis, but I can tell you that Disney has an excellent safety record. And Disney has always been on the forefront of safety globally. I think the industry today is a better place in terms of safety thanks to the efforts of Disney and many others. And I'm not sure if how that would help actually the already excellent safety records of Disney. But that is something which, other parties are discussing more heavily, and it is up to them to hopefully find a solution for that.
And I know that you see the best of the best, Jakob. I know you see the latest trends. You get to go to all the places. And Ginger and I, we don't get to see, there are plenty of rides in Orlando and Tampa Bay, Busch Gardens, and wherever that we have not gotten to try. So if you were a tourist, if you were headed to Florida, what would be the one ride that you would say, you have to try this thing because it's ridiculous?
Oh, that is a very good question. It depends a lot on who you're going with. If I go probably with my younger daughter, it is most likely Elsa Frozen at Epcot. If it's with my buddies, it is definitely Hagrid's. But then if I go with the whole family, it might be H2O Island Water Park because it's a great day out. I recently had the pleasure to visit Discovery Cove, which is, I think, an amazing experience.
Oh, it's so cool.
Which is hard to replicate anywhere else in the world. So you see, it depends a lot on who you're going with and what you want to explore on that day and what your mood is.
It's like
I love that answer because it covered everything.
I was like, I wanted one. It's like trying to pick your favorite child, I suppose. I'm a Velocicoaster guy. Have you done the Velocicoaster? That thing is insane.
I have, yes. It is also insane, but it's hard. If I would ask you, you have what would be your favorite car? I mean, there's a good car for the city. There's a good car for the racetrack. There's a good car for off-road. It's hard to pick because we have such a diverse offer in our industry. And, and I could spend weeks here to visit all of those.
Jakob, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time. IAPA does a ton of work with our theme parks, and we appreciate that. And we appreciate you taking the time to talk about some of these topics with us.
And thanks for having me. And see you hopefully at a park or at the expo in November.
And thank you for watching. You can download Florida's Fourth Estate from wherever you listen to podcasts or watch anytime on News 6 Plus. And while you're there, check out this episode where we go beyond the gate of Super Nintendo World.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastical.
I'm going to have Jim just pan real quick, give you an overshot of it.
Okay. I
love
get
the
it.
Coins. I like seeing the coins there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or this episode, where we talk to 2 Florida python hunters. Or where we strip down and tell you all about Florida's $4 billion nude tourism industry. There are also live cams. Hundreds of people sit down just to enjoy the beach from home, overlook the city beautiful, or watch the cruise ships come in. It's all available free on News 6 Plus. Just download the News 6 Plus app on your smart TV and keep watching.